This is a part 1 of a part 3 series, our vacation. I decided that it was a smart idea to go to 3 different provinces in a space of 10 days. Yeah, it didn't turn out as great as I had envisioned it in my mind, but we didn't let that stop us from having fun. I had been wanting to go to Cape Town for the longest time, I think since 2019. But I was like, oh, Cape Town is so expensive. You need someone else's budget to be able to go to Cape Town and have fun. How beautiful are my shoes, though? That was me 2 hours early for our flight. And the reason is our first and only time that we had flown. Is that even English? Anyway. As a family was in 2018, if not 19, when we went to Mauritius and we missed our flight. So everyone is still traumatized by that, and that is the reason why we're there 2 hours early, because we are no longer missing any flights. That was a very traumatic experience. We'll talk about it some other time. And I was just excited. I was excited to go to Cape Town. I'd never been, and I figured it's about time my parents pay so that I can go experience it. And this was me, very excited, touchdown in Mother City. Whoop, whoop. My mother, my brother, and I had never been. So the only people in my family that had actually been to Cape Town before was my dad and my brother. And my brother was because he was studying in UWC. So this was my mom, brother, and I's first time experiencing Cape Town, and I was just excited. I was just excited to get to see all these things that people have been talking about, to get to experience Cape Town for myself, and most importantly, to finally take it off my bucket list. I'm so grateful to my parents for the opportunity to have finally ticked off Cape Town off of my bucket list. I fought for Cape Town to be there, knowing very well that it was gonna squeeze in our other destinations. So I was very happy when my mother agreed, and I was very happy when everybody was happy with the booking, because hey, this family of mine, we are very opinionated people. So finding something that suits everyone is not that easy, guys. It's not that easy. I found this beautiful tree house on the Airbnb. It's in Greenside, and our host was very amazing. He suggested that we walk down the road to the main road to find restaurants, and that's why we went to Tiger Milks, and that is because it was less than 2 kilometers away from where we were staying. So the thing is, we were staying up the hill, and because we were a big family, finding an Uber that could come quickly was not that easy. So we went down, we had an amazing time, we did some grocery shopping, and when it was time to leave and request an Uber, we couldn't find an Uber because it was peak time. So that meant we had to walk up that steep hill back to our accommodation, and everyone regretted that idea. Everyone regretted it. Because it was pretty steep. It was proper workout. But anyway, it was a beautiful first day. I mean, we were exhausted because we woke up early so that we can be at the airport earlier, even though we slept by Road Lodge, which was literally by the airport. This was us on our day 2. I was very excited to finally go experience V&A waterfront. My dad and I were each other's hype men during this vacation. You know what? We were the team. We were team content creators. Everyone else was not interested, but my dad and I were taking great pictures of each other. He's like, you watched the picture with the VNA? I'm like, me too. He's like, take me a video. I was like, me too. And we struggled to find a restaurant because everywhere it was packed. Like, it was packed there by VNA waterfront. There was like a whole queue to go into Spain. So I found this beautiful this is Living Corona promotion, and I was like, I am not missing that swing. So this was my dad, like, he was a proper tourist. We also went to the aquarium. At this point, everyone was kind of fed up with me because we had to walk to the aquarium from the VNA. It wasn't too far, but I think because we were still exhausted from the previous day walks, yeah, everyone was just tired. My mom was not feeling it. She had never been to an aquarium before, and two mountains didn't stand out for her. It didn't stand out for her. We had an okay experience. What stood out for me with the two oceans was the sharks. They have big sharks there, and that huge stingray. Like, it was so huge. But compared to Ushaka Marine takes the crown. Like, I thought Two Oceans was gonna be way better than Ushaka Marine, but Ushaka Marine, I think it's because they have a water park and an aquarium at the same time. I don't know, but it takes the crown. Like, it really takes the crown. However, we're not gonna downplay Two Oceans because it has, like I said, big sharks, a huge stingray. It also has penguins, and I had never seen penguins before. So yeah, we got to see penguins. What else? This was my mom uninterested, and they decided they're gonna go wait outside. I'm like, oh, I am here for the full experience, and my brother and I went while everyone else just waited outside. So these were the penguins. They just kind of reminded me of Happy Feet. They reminded me of Happy Feet. And they had different breeds, so that was also quite interesting to watch and experience. How huge is the shark? Honestly, I feel like the camera on the phone doesn't do justice. At this point, I was tired, but I was still trying to take some content, and I was trying to tell my brother how to angle the camera. Oh, it was exhausting. Anyway, so now this was our day 3, and on day 3, my mom and my little brother were like, we are not going anyway. We are tired. This is our last day in Cape Town. We have a long journey tomorrow, so we are not going anywhere. My dad, because he also likes things, he's like, if we're not going to be doing too much walking, I'll go with you guys. And I was like, we are not going to be doing walking. We're going to be requesting Uber. So I wanted to go to the Seal Island. So my dad, brother, and I hopped on an Uber and made our way to, I forgot what the name of this area is, but it's quite a drive from Greenpoint. It was like 30 minutes. Yeah, you even pass Table Mountain on your way there. I just know it's called Seal Island. And we got to see so many beautiful beaches. Like, it was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, if we were not here for a very short period of time, I would definitely come and see all these places. It's just so many things to do, so many beautiful places to see, and so little time. But little is better than nothing. So this was us by the Seal Island. We finally got on a boat. I was so sunburned at this point. Like, the sun was not kind on this day. It was so hot. It was so hot. My dad decided he's gonna wait inside the boat. So the boat has time slots. They have time slots for when it leaves to go see the seals, and they also have time slots for when it leaves to go see the dolphins and whales, if I'm not mistaken. Nothing would have prepared me for what the seal island actually looks like. I don't know what I had in mind, but what we went and saw was not that. So this was us when we finally arrive at the Seal Island. It's just a rock. I won't even say in the middle of the ocean, but somewhere in the ocean, where seals mate and raise their youngs on this rock, and the fish smell was so overpowering. You could see the skeleton of the fish there. They eat and they just throw away the bones there. Like it's a mess. It's a mess, and the smell was so strong. I was like, if I had known, I would have substituted the Seal Island for something else. But yeah, we got to see different sizes, different shapes, newborns, old ones, and they actually make a funny sound. Just that the sound is muted on this video, so you won't be able to hear. But yeah, after like 5 minutes, I was already over it, and I just wanted to head back because I was like, oh, the smell of fish here was very strong, stronger than the smell there by the aquarium where the penguins are. But yeah, so this was me trying to remain interested because I insisted I wanted to go here, so I had to be the one carrying on and making sure that I stay interested. But yeah, it was quite interesting as well. That was my dad sneaking a peek because he didn't have a hat, and I was the only one with a summer hat, and the sun was just not kind. So he was peeking through the window to see the view from the outside. I mean, he had a beautiful view from the inside because of the glass, but he wanted to be a part of us too, but the sun was refusing for him to do that. And at this point, I also felt like, let me go join him inside. I eventually went and I joined him inside because I was burnt. Like, I was burnt. It was I don't know what was wrong with the heat that day. It was very unkind. So on our way back, we wanted to stop by the Table Mountain. However, when we went to the aerial cable, when we were there by that traffic circle, they told us that we couldn't go in because the mountain was on fire. I didn't know that Table Mountain is on fire almost every other week. Like, it's not an exaggeration. Apparently, the mountains are always on fire that side. Anyway, so since this was our last day, I wanted to go see the sunset. So this was me with my brother. We went to the promenade to see the sunset. Like, that's just the only thing about Cape Town I couldn't get over. This was me looking at my watch. It was around +7 and you could still see the sun. You could still see the sun. I was just amazed. How beautiful is that? Now I get why Cape Town has the status that it has, because it does to some extent feel like you're in a different country. Like it just has a different feeling to it. Yeah, I don't know if it's because we hype it up too much or it's because the sun sets later. Even the people, I mean, this was around what, past 7 to 8, and the sun only like completely goes down at what, I think it was like to 9. So that's it.